What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome back to SellerAmp Seller Hour. Saw a bunch of you guys were early to chat today. Good good vibes.
Oh.
Lots of I haven't seen this many questions before stream in a while. So yeah, good energy. If you guys have not kind of been tuning into office hours and that kind of stuff, we're live this time every Tuesday and Thursday, and 5 p.m. Eastern Monday as well for Q&A. And yeah, good vibes. What's up, Harbor? Wishing you all a successful 2026. You too. Good vibes.
That's love, man. Yeah, that's love.
Sweet. Yeah, we can just kind of get into it here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jay asked a question at 10:15 this morning. I like it.
All right, we'll go. Yeah, we'll start from the top there.
See, Jay was asking about ungating. So yeah, I mean, totally normal if you're just kind of getting started. So anything that requires invoices, you just buy from a legit retail store. Use that online invoice, or you can use the Boxum auto ungate feature. So you can basically just log into Boxum, click bulk ungate, and there'll be a list of about just shy of like 2,000 brands that'll automatically check for you. And usually, like beginner Amazon sellers are getting anywhere from 50 to 100 auto approved, and then veteran sellers are seeing like 500 plus. I think there's been over 1 million free brand approvals done on the Boxum auto and gate checker in the first week, which is very cool. Lots of opportunity being unlocked.
Yeah, and there's really 3 types of products, right? There's number 1, which is auto ungate stuff. So those are items you can sell right away from the get-go, where it just lets you list it immediately in Amazon Seller Central in most cases, after hitting apply to sell and request approval. The second one is a gated product that asks you to submit documents. In most cases, 10 units, sometimes as much as like 400 units for human ingestibles, which is like products people are consuming, and then the third one being hard gated things where you can't even apply. So those are ones that are off limits for beginners, like Nike, Adidas, and Puma, certain big brands. Not really that many products there, but definitely some things. Pink Glitter Shoes says, I can't seem to find products to ungate. Yeah, so the first thing to keep in mind is that as long as you can apply for it, you can get approved for it, right? In that if ungating were impossible, all these listings would have no sellers, right? So we know it has to be possible considering that, all these listings have sellers, right? And everything. And you can ungate using any big websites, Kohl's, Walmart, Target, Costco, the brand websites, and everything. So even if it asks for documents, don't necessarily be afraid of it. But the best formula for beginners, in my opinion, these days is mostly buying auto ungates to start while knocking out 1 or 2 big gated brands that once unlocked gives you access to dozens and dozens of SKUs, right? So think like a big brand would be something like Gap.
Yeah. Yep,
nice.
Sure.
It's good play from Jay here. Yeah, it's exactly what you should be doing, dude. We love that. Yeah. Any way we can help too, let us know.
Finding some stuff that ungates. Yeah. And on that, like a lot of you start seeing like more stuff auto approve like the 5 to 10K sales mark.
Yep. Old School Collective says, how do I start strong with FBM products? I already have, and then convert it towards FBA once getting more brands ungated. So the ungating stuff doesn't really affect FBA versus FBM. This time of year, you want to mainly FBA things, just because there's not as much demand compared to like the holiday season, which is when you do a lot of FBM. So don't necessarily think of ungating being correlated to like what fulfillment type, like how you sell a product, basically. On that. What up, Chris? Good to see you, family. We're getting my boy
the new username.
Yeah, we're getting my boy set up, Warner. He didn't even have Discord yesterday, but now we're getting him. Now we're getting him set up the right way there.
Sounds good. What up, Carlos?
Yeah, we Carlos in the building too.
Yeah,
Jay Cass says, I'm only doing FBA books, DVDs, and CDs, just getting started to get ungated there. Yeah, that makes sense, man. OA too. There's going to be a lot of auto ungate stuff with OA too, as well. We got a lot of SellerAmp Nation here. SellerAmp Nation, if you're watching this, we see there's a bunch of you guys watching this right now. We post a lot of good sourcing content on our SellerAmp channel, as well as on Fields of Profit and Flips for Miles on YouTube too. So here at SellerAmp, right? SellerAmp Seller Hour every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We live stream, we answer your guys' questions, and we have lots of pre-recorded content on our channels too, as well. Ooh, good question here. So, all right, we'll pop up here. Exactly. So this is a really important thing. because a lot of people screw this up. A lot of people have this backwards and kind of end up calculating things incorrectly in a way that doesn't favor them. Not that you would want to calculate things in a way that makes things look less profitable here. Okay, so let's pop it on here. So if we go here, so the best, and all right, it is, let's see, is it not going to let me screen share? I might have to leave and come back. All right, I will be right back. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Sweet, you said it's almost impossible to start with 100. You're not seeing a minimum of 10 units now. Most require more. So there's still a bunch of brands that do require 10, just from seeing a lot recently. But you can also just sell those auto ungates like we're talking about, man. So there's the new auto ungate tool on Boxem. You literally just press a button and you'll see like 50 to 100 brands that you're allowed to sell with a click. So like finding those beginner brands shouldn't really be too much of a roadblock anymore. You just need that quick list of auto ungate brands. Start storefront stocking people who sell those, and that'll take you to that 5 or 10K sales mark where you start getting a lot more auto approvals taken care of, basically. But yeah, you can kind of get after that. What's up? Tinky said, do you have any advice for the UK market? You find it hard to find stores that use the right invoice style that Amazon likes? So all you need for as far as like invoices go, you'll just make sure you're buying from legit suppliers, and like whatever they email you is an invoice. So you don't need to get like too hung up on what they're calling things. Screen share working for you now?
It's about to be. I just got to do the privacy and security thing one more time. All right, Google Chrome, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, Alex, Nike will be hard gated for most sellers for about 2 years. No one's been able to sell it. But obviously still lots of new sellers finding plenty of success. So you can just sell some of those other things. Like we're saying, the auto ungate, you'll click one button, you'll get auto ungated in a bunch of products. Yeah, just try for those of you guys like having issues with ungating, just go to Boxem and then click bulk ungating, and you'll have a list of like 50 to 100 brands. Take those brands and then start storefront stocking them. And we're also going to be jumping on the Boxem auto ungate workshop tonight, showing you guys how to like source with that as well.
All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Now we can pop up here. Okay, so SellerAmp settings, great question. There's only a couple things you need to do, but you need to make sure you have them right. So if we pop in here, right, we can take a look over here. So if I just go to selleramp.com, so selleramp.com, then hit login, and then I want to click this drop down menu in the top right and then hit settings, right? And now really all you need to do is make sure your inbound FBA shipping says 80 cents per pound. You can definitely get that down over time, but this is just so SellerAmp automatically calculates that in, so you have your exact numbers. And then you also want to make sure you hit display and then select all 5 options for the quick info right here too, right? So select all 5 options right there, show profit margin, show ROI, show break even, show offer summary, right? I think like 3 out of the 5 are automatically selected, but select all 5. So inbound FBA shipping and then quick info. And then also too, I would recommend having your additional cost settings like this here. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can either put in your settings, you can either put in your sales tax like this, and then make sure that any cost price you put in here on the extension does not include sales tax. A lot of you guys count that twice by accident, don't even know it, right? So you have to make sure if you're going to put in your sales tax here, you don't add it in here because it's already counted there. Or the way I like to do it, right? Because if you have it like this, where it's counted in here, then when you use a tax exempt permit, you need to take this out, right? So if you're using your tax exempt permit on Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, these retailers that take that tax exempt permit, then you have to do that. Personally though, I like having it as 0 right here. Just make sure you refresh. And then on websites where I am paying tax, I just add it in. So Florida, 6.5, boom. And on sites where it's tax exempt, I just leave it at 15. So there's one of 2 ways. You just got to make sure you don't count it twice. So you either count it in the MISC fee percent, right? And then don't add it in the buy cost, or you don't have it in the settings, but then you add it in the buy cost, right? And you have to make sure that it, shows correctly like that. So that's very, very helpful, very, very important. And a lot of people accidentally have that wrong, or accidentally count sales tax twice, which you end up basically passing on a lot of stuff you should buy if you count it twice by accident.
For sure. Sweet. So somebody's asking, just kind of break down some of the charts and stuff, which I think is a good question. So I'm going to show you guys 3 different products, just kind of some more like common things you'll run into. So if you want to
Bang.
pop me
Yeah.
on
Let's
up
take a
here.
look. Yep. Yep.
So on a fundamental level, I assume whoever was asking just want like the super basic breakdown. So all you're looking for in your products is to make sure that the pink line, the buy box line, is pretty consistent, right? You don't want to buy something that's like way more expensive than it normally is. So like this is kind of what you're looking for, nice and flat. And the green sales rank line showing you like demand over time, right? Lots of other stuff is useful, like new offer count and stuff. One of the places that new offer count specifically will be useful is something like this. So you see the price is consistent, right? So that's something that we are typically looking for. But then if we zoom in on this part right here, see how the seller count starts dropping drastically all at once here? This is like a classic kind of like IP complaint. So when you're looking at the charts and you see like a bunch of people disappear all at once, you can see, all right, this brand maybe kicking some resellers off the listing, right? There's obviously like lots of things you can learn looking at the charts. And then just like another thing that maybe it'll be one of the more common ones is when you look at the charts down here, you see like Amazon on it all the time, or you see like one seller winning all the sales. That's also like kind of something to be on the lookout for. But in general, you're just looking for stuff that looks like this, right? No Amazon on it. You got plenty of third-party sellers. This has pretty consistently, 18 to 20 sellers on it. Nice and consistent price, consistent sales rank, that kind of thing.
Bang. Yeah, Nike's hard gated. It's impossible to start with 100. Yeah, that's why you should do. Oh, okay. Yeah. So
yeah, we were breaking that down while you were hopping in and out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Fire. Yeah. Almost. They keep rejecting them. Yep. That is completely normal.
Yeah,
okay. So own review. You've been commenting almost every day on my channel the past 2 weeks asking this exact question. Actually, okay. Now for your point, apologies. You did switch it up there for ungating. So in-store receipts do not work for ungating, right? They do work for inauthentic complaints and IP complaints and stuff. Was this one of the ones you answered as well?
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay, cool. We're caught up then. Okay. But order confirmation emails are what you're primarily going to use for OA. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Yeah. So OA, yes. In-store, no. Carlos says, congrats on the new box and feature. That's beautiful. Thank you, sir. A lot of auto-ungated products are not profitable and low estimated sales. Well, a lot of gated products are not profitable and low estimated sales, right? So it's on you whether looking for gated or ungated stuff, right, to find things that are good right
there. And obviously, like, just because something's auto-ungated doesn't mean it doesn't sell, right? Like, yeah. I've pretty much only been doing that sourcing the last couple of days, just kind of learning some stuff that we're going to be showing you guys tonight. So, I mean, obviously there's lots of like auto-ungated stuff that does sell. But yeah, you are right. Like there's a reason why if a brand doesn't require any invoices, it's probably less popular than like Starbucks, right? But just because it's less popular than Starbucks, which sells, millions a month, doesn't mean you can't find stuff that sells, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month between their brand on Amazon.
Ooh, Harbor Home Goods speaking facts right here.
You know where it's at. Yep.
Yeah, bro. Says it's not about finding good products. It's about making products good. Yes, exactly. Very, very rarely will something just be profitable at the advertised price. You see that on a retailer. Most cases, you're going to make that guy good.
Yeah. So here, pop my screen up here. We can dig in on that. Just because that's super important, right? You're not finding profitable products. Just kind of take that out of the vernacular almost, right? Like this, for example, St. John's Bay is a JCPenney brand. So let's say we were sourcing this at JCPenney, right? First thing you can do, like, hey, how can I create some extra profit margin? All right, I know I can go to Card Bear, and then today I can get 10% off. So I can go to any of these top websites and pay, $90 for a $100 gift card that gets emailed to me right away, and I go spend that right there. We've created a 10% discount. Another thing you can check for on a bunch of websites you source is just like go to the homepage and like scroll down. So a lot of times there'll be a box that says like plug in your email for a 10% off coupon or something like that, right? I don't think JCPenney has it's called a catch-all email coupon code. I don't think they do, but that's just like another thing to check.
Don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. If you Google JCPenney 30% code, it's not going to work on everything, but it'll work on some stuff.
Here's like an example, one that we look at a lot. Like you go to Nautica, right? It's always going to spend 15%, and then I don't even know why they do this. Like, just give us the email blank. Then you can just go plug in your email right here, and they will send you a 15% off coupon code. So between those two things, we can even just like look, Nautica's 22% off. So between those two things, like a full price item goes from $100, let's call it, to $85 with this coupon, and then that $85 is 22% discounted as well because you're buying discounted money. So that makes a lot of items that people find, and it's like, oh, this item I found isn't profitable, but you look at it, it's like, all right, I just made this item profitable.
You just use the order confirmation emails. Yeah. It's been a day. Holy shit. With the everything is gated. Yeah, it's literally just factually not true. Like it's literally just it's factually not true. Now, I get when you're doing stuff one by one that it can be a little, confusing and everything. But yeah, like if you're a Boxum user, come to the workshop tonight. And we are happy to. We also have guys, there's good auto and gate sourcing content on the SellerAmp channel too, and on Warner and I's both. Nothing changed. It just is easier now to
it's
track.
Just easier to get that giant list of brands now.
Yeah.
Previously, you're plugging in ASIN at a time.
Yeah. What's up, Deanna? Been freaking out of this. Yes. Own review. Yeah. You're in good hands. You're in good hands, right? We've been doing this for a while, right? We know the ins and outs of it. And everything.
It's totally reasonable to be overwhelmed and confused.
Yeah, that's good. Nothing that's ever been rewarding hasn't been,
Yeah, exactly. Like it's at least like a couple weeks to be comfortable finding a product. So if you're within that first couple week period and it's not making sense, it didn't make sense for me either. To be honest, I tried for a month and gave up and came back a few months later because I was doing books and I was like, oh, I'll try this out, and it didn't make sense and came back later.
And you found home with
so literally I gave up the first time. I'm glad I came back again, but yeah, it's totally normal. Let's see. Is this 15% just for one unit, or if you're buying 10 units? Yeah, so the email sign-up codes you're showing, that'll be per order. So you could add as many things on there. And then obviously you only have one email address, or maybe you got a couple, but you can just add a plus after your email address on a Gmail email. Let's say your email is con@gmail.com. Just add a +1, and then the coupon's going to send again. +2, +3, +4, right? Plus whatever you want. All those are basically unique emails that will then send a new 15% off code. That can obviously make a huge difference.
Whatever your total price is. Yeah, I mean, every now and again, it'll only be a website will say only one item, but the vast majority of the time. Yep. Yeah. So in-store receipts do not work. Online receipts do. Wholesale invoices do. Online receipts are a billion times easier than doing a bunch of cold calling and cold emailing to wholesalers.
Yeah, and that's for ungating as well.
Yep, that's
just if you guys are out there doing retail arbitrage at the store, you can use those because you can say, "Hey, Amazon, here's where we bought these. These are real." And Amazon be like, "All right, here's a Target receipt. Looks good," but they're not going to be like, "All right, here's a Target receipt without your address on it or any of your information. Let's get you ungated," because it's just a little bit extra that they're requiring for that. Then the nice part is for I know Walmart and hardware stores and stuff. If you check out through your phone on the app, you can have an invoice generated in the app if you're doing retail arbitrage, and you can try that for ungating as well.
Would you recommend retail or online arbitrage start? Honestly, both. That's the nice thing is you're not tied to one or the other. But primarily online arbitrage, we would see in EC. Yeah, primarily online arbitrage.
Yeah, it's good to get your first products and stuff
out
at the local stores, because your only competition is the 0 to 10 Amazon sellers that maybe hit that store on a regular basis, depending on how big of a city you live in. Obviously online, you're competing with everyone who wants to do online arbitrage. So it's retail arbitrage is more hustle oriented. Online arbitrage is more kind of knowledge and systems focused, which is why online arbitrage is harder to get that first, $1,000 in profit or so. Doubt and uncertainty are normal at first. Yeah, it should be.
Dude. Yeah,
it's something brand new. It's you're putting your hard-earned money into it. You're spending your time on it, or you could be doing anything else. And yeah, it's totally rational. But when you start seeing those first the first sales roll in and the first $10,000 a month and all that kind of stuff, it's all right, this is real, right? And it's totally normal. All of us will kind of have that switch flip at some point, whether it's something you buy and you make $1,000 on one product, or for some people it's you're making your first sale and the switch is flipped. It's all right, this works. I gotta go all in. At some point that'll switch, and you'll just kind of be operating from a confidence mindset.
Boom, boom. And SellerAmp storefront stock and other sellers. Dude, that's a great start. Yeah. That's
awesome.
Really good job. Yeah, really, really good job.
Yeah, especially 2 weeks in, because I mean, 2 weeks ago you're making the seller account, so you're probably not
Yeah.
even selling
Yeah, and
anything until a
she's
week ago.
yeah. Yep. Any usually
That's
auto
awesome.
engate brands you guys see in stores, Ross, Marshalls, Burlington. We don't do a lot of RA at those spots. You'll just have to scan. But in terms of OA, a really good place for that is going to be vinyls for OA and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can also like go to Ross, go to TJ Maxx, like on your SellerAmp app, scan like a handful of things, 25, 50 products. Then in your history, you'll see all the stuff you scanned. And then you'll kind of have a list of brands where it's like maybe I should be on the lookout for this kind of thing. Cause usually those types of stores will be buying the same items all across the country. And then just see if those are auto ungate brands for you, or see if they're, easy ungates, if there's something you can buy profitably on those brands. Kind of do a little bit of research from your computer. And then based on what you see as auto ungated, or you can get a 10-unit invoice and that kind of stuff, like then those are the brands you can kind of double down on next time you go back to the store there.
Harbor Home Goods says, I made my first sale 2 weeks after starting.
Nice.
Made my first $2.38 on tester product. Excited to start. Started 1/1/2026. Let's go.
Cool.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
That's
Rosie Poo, if why not just get ungated? Why not just get ungated?
That first 238 probably feels like $1 million.
Yeah.
I know the couple bucks I made in my first product did.
Yeah.
Didn't know you could see the history. Yeah, you can see the history. You can search the history as well. So if you want to remember, like, oh, I remember there was like a weird palette, a makeup palette I looked at a week ago. Like, let me look for that. Another kind of underrated feature is adding notes and like starring items. Like I'll even just pull up an example over here, because then you can search for those things in your history as well. So you can search by where you got it or whatever. So if you want to pop me on up here.
Oh yeah.
So you guys can go just like on any product, and you can either star the item and it'll show up like in your favorites on the SellerAmp history, or you can add a note and you can say like, TJ Maxx or whatever, right? Save that, and then when you search TJ Maxx in your history, that'll pop up too. So you can like kind of have a lot of the stuff that you've sourced at certain places stored that way.
Bang, WAMP mobile. On the way, JJ. So store receipts will not work for ungating. Yes, they will not work for ungating. They will work for an authentic and IP complaints. Online receipts will work for everything. You're going to get denied. That's completely normal. Wholesale invoices will work for everything. You're going to get denied. That's completely normal. And keep submitting. And found 3 products, one of them auto-ungated. Hell yeah. Funny thing is I'm outside. You're literally tuning into the live stream while you're shipping out the well. That is beautiful. Yes. Yeah. I'll link a video in chat for SellerAmp Google Sheets. Yeah. I'll link a video in chat for SellerAmp Google Sheets. Good call. Someone had asked about the auto ungate sourcing workshop. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. 6 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Yep. You have a link in your email if you have a Boxum free trial active, or if you're an existing Boxum user there. What's up, Connie said, how are you seeing competition products in 2026? I mean, that's very broad reaching, but I will say in general, looking at the data from Q4, there was a massive decrease in the amount of competition on like Q4 focused products. So for example, like toys and stuff like that. Even just from anecdotal, personal evidence, we were a lot more profitable selling less stuff last year. So yeah, it definitely feels like, a lot of people saw like shiny object syndrome or whatever and went to TikTok shop or whatever. And pretty much people who are still left taking it seriously kind of are eating some extra profit off that.
Bang, bang. So we got those down there in the chat. So we'll be on a couple more minutes, guys. So any questions y'all got, please feel free to let us know. We are happy to help here. We're here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We also got tons of good pre-recorded content on our channels. Also, too, there's a free Discord. There's a free Facebook group for all our SellerAmp Nation. So check out both of those at the link in the description, as well as free communities. You should definitely join the Discord. You should definitely join the Facebook group. Interact with other sellers, be in the mix, be in the community.
Yeah, just find like somebody you can bounce ideas off, basically.
Yeah.
Just someone to do your new hobby of making money online with. So Oni said, what's up with toys needing certification? Seems impossible to do the testing. Yeah, so to be honest, like I used to like track down the documents that the companies had done those testing on. But literally nothing has happened since I stopped.
Yeah,
like,
it happens every year.
That's kind of the consensus from other larger Amazon sellers I talked to as well, as like literally nothing happens. So yeah, I don't even worry about those anymore. And if it's something where they're kind of repeating it, I might just not restock it, not to, not risk the listing getting taken down or something.
First FBA shipments. Hey, come on. Nice. Good work. It's frustrating, but I'll keep submitting. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if you're told that something's going to happen 10 to 15 times, when it happens 14 times, you shouldn't be surprised by it. You know what I mean? And it's, on Warner and I to make that clear to you guys that that's normal and everything, but it's just the way it is. And because that, right, it kind of becomes a choice, to be frustrated by and everything. It's something everyone, that everyone that sells on Amazon deals with.
Yeah, it's just like as soon as you're through it, it protects some profit a little bit. It just, it's protecting your profit from people who don't have like the persistence to be an Amazon seller for a while, basically. It protects you from people who only want to submit one time and it doesn't work and they give up on selling on Amazon, right? Because that's the type of person who also, if they sell on your listing and the price drops 5 cents, they're going to follow it down, panic, and try to sell out. And you just kind of think of it as a way to protect those products. And that's also why you should not be selling only auto and gates forever. Right, just kind of use it to bridge the gap, hit that first little bit of chunk of sales while you're ungating things.
Yes, so you just don't get ungated in store. Do you need a reseller certificate for wholesale? Yes, yeah, you do.
Yeah, wholesalers pretty much always ask for
bro
it.
said yes. Yeah, that's true. I mean, DV, I get it though, because you do want to see it come to fruition for yourself.
Yeah. No, it's
very normal.
Yeah, totally valid for it to feel annoying.
Yeah, but the key is, DB, the Amazon gods, they can sense fear and uncertainty. They can sense fear and uncertainty around ungating and then reward or punish as such.
Yeah. I feel like that goes for a lot of things too. Like if you're scared you're not going to find anything while you're sourcing, like you probably find a little bit less product rather than I'm going to sit down, I'm going to spend this much money on products right now. Just to be clear, you sell toys, got a certification for us for your Crayola. Yeah, like during Christmas and stuff, especially, we'll sell toys and get those emails. And I don't.
Don't worry about them. Yeah, don't worry about them right there.
It seems like we're not taking proper care of the store or something, but like genuinely, that's what I'll do, and nothing has happened. Let's see, did you see your question about generic listing when the item is not showing up? So there can be 2 places on the back end, basically on Amazon, where it says it's generic, but both of them will show on the Amazon listing. So just for you guys that don't know what we're talking about, let me get an example up. Just selling things that are literally called generic brand on Amazon is essentially copyright infringement. So if you want to pop me up.
Yep.
What you're looking for is this brand name to say the correct thing and this brand name to say the correct thing. These are pulled from different places on Amazon essentially. So you want both of them to say the correct brand name. If one of them says generic or like not the actual brand name, you're essentially pretending that the thing you're selling is not the brand it actually is, which gets into like copyright law and stuff like that. So yeah, just make sure it looks good. And then you also see like an alert here on SellerAmp for most of it where it'll say like GB, indicating that's like a generic brand listing.
Sure. Cool. All right, sweet. Thanks, y'all, for a great SellerAmp Seller Hour. We're always here to help every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Tuesday. Right there. And then we got lots of good content on the Fields of Profit channel, Flips from House channel, and here on the SellerAmp channel as well. Check out the link in the description for our free SellerAmp Facebook group, as well as our free Amazon Launchpad Discord, too. You can get around some other sellers and everything. And y'all be great. Have a good one, everyone.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.